Rated M for mature.
Over a decade ago, a spin-off to the Sniper Elite series called Nazi Zombie Army was released, and it's come a long way since. The first game in the series gave us zombies in a World War II era and an undead Hitler controlling them all. And this has since evolved into something greater with a deeper story, improved gameplay, and even virtual reality. Carl Fairburn and the Survivors Brigade fight against the zombie menace with everything they've got to save humanity from this undead threat. And we wanted to take a look back at where it all started and where the series is now, so get ready for the evolution of Zombie Army. One year after Sniper Elite V2 came out, Nazi Zombie Army was released on February 28th, 2013. Set in a similar but alternative timeline, Hitler enacts his Plan Z to summon zombies for world domination. This first entry to the series not only gave us a brand new zombie threat to fight, but also the return of the Sniper Elite series protagonist, Carl Fairburn. And the story in Nazi Zombie Army was about escaping Berlin and trying your best to survive. This brought with it a much creepier and darker atmosphere, where danger lurked around every corner, and due to the shift in tone, the spin-off series fundamentally changed the way you were used to playing. Instead of careful sniping and stealth gameplay that the Sniper Elite series is known for, in here, zombies constantly swarm you, causing you to move and fight harder just to survive. The X-ray kill cams that were introduced in Sniper Elite V2 made a return here, letting you rip apart zombies, provided you were able to get enough distance from them. Cooperative multiplayer was also available in Nazi Zombie Army for the 5 missions. Having your friends join in on the zombie killing made it even more enjoyable, what we recommend for the best experience. Later that year, in October of 2013, a sequel called Nazi Zombie Army 2 was released. And this time, you have to make your way back to Berlin to piece together the relic to try to end the zombie menace. This new game brought in different locations and even some new enemies, like the fire demons that would create flaming zombies. The creamy atmosphere and the horror focus, it returned here to keep players on their toes when fighting those zombie hordes. Even though the core gameplay remained the same, fighting zombies over the course of these new 5 missions became even more intense. And of course, all of this could be played with friends alongside for a cooperative experience. 2 years after the release of Nazi Zombie Army 2, we wanted to add more to the series with a third entry, but give it a bigger upgrade than ever before. Zombie Army Trilogy was released in March of 2015, and it was bundled with a remaster of the first 2 games as well as a new third campaign. This new story had you working with survivors to find the undead Hitler and put an end to him and his zombie minions once and for all. Now players can experience the entire story in one bundle with their friends. A few new additions to this game were things like a combo meter for how many kills you can get without missing a shot, and a new horde mode that did not exist in the first 2 games. And this new mode gave players a new way to play with their friends outside of the typical campaign. Over the course of 5 different maps, you could play solo or compete with your friends to see who can get the most kills and the highest score. 5 years later, we revisited the series with Zombie Army 4. This game was a complete overhaul of the graphics using the same game engine as Sniper Elite 4, and more mechanics were added in here as well. The story takes place 1 year after the events of Zombie Army Trilogy, and the zombie threat is rampaging across Europe. Centered mostly around Italy and some surrounding countries, Carl Fairburn and the Survivors Brigade returned to fight against the threat to humanity over the course of 9 main missions. And this story became more evolved as well, giving NPCs more direct interactions with you, with some giving you the opportunity to save them from being overrun by zombies. A new leveling system was added in that you could unlock various perks and items for your character to give you a little bit of an edge in battle. Alongside this, a weapon upgrade system was also brought in to increase the power of the weapons you like to use the most, giving you options for better reloads or even steal life on critical hits. No longer were characters just an aesthetic choice either. In Zombie Army 4, each character has their own unique attributes that make them better with different weapons, but also some weaknesses in some areas too to balance them out. New activated abilities gave each weapon a special use. This included the powerful overcharge shot for rifles, the slow motion weapon focus for secondary weapons, the auto headshot brainbuster for pistols, and a special instant kill melee attack. In addition to all of this too, Horde mode makes a great return with 11 maps. Not only was this more than the previous games, but new mechanics were also introduced. You now only start with a pistol and have to collect new weapons from supply drops that appear throughout the various waves. Each new supply drop gives you more powerful versions of weapons to help you fight against the increasingly difficult zombies. Along with that, each map would continuously open up with new areas and move the ammo crates around so you couldn't just stay in one place. Another big change was the addition of an escape from the Horde at the start of Wave 13. You can either take this exit or stay and fight to see how many waves you can complete before being overcome by the sheer number of enemies. And on top of all these new additions and changes, we added in a ton of new DLC content, like 11 new story missions, new characters, new outfits, and new weapons. In Zombie Army 4, we really wanted to give players something to come back for over and over with, and we think we delivered there. And finally, we did release Zombie Army VR, which brought a brand new immersive experience. Taking place between the events of Zombie Army Trilogy and Zombie Army 4, you are tasked with fighting the undead that are continuing to grow stronger as time goes on. In this VR experience, you will fight for your survival like never before. Short supplies of resources, manual reloading, and relentless enemies will put you to the absolute test. And we also added in a new Horde mode as a free update to the game, which only true elites will be able to come on top and survive the 12 waves on each map. Zombie Army has evolved quite a bit over the years with new weapons, new mechanics, and more immersion. Fighting zombies in World War II has never been better. The series has come a long way, but one thing that has always been by our side was our community. We love our Zombie Army community and appreciate every single one of you, so thank you for the support throughout the various years. Want more Sniper Elite and Zombie Army? Explore our official merch including t-shirts, books, board games, and more, all at the Rebellion shop. We got collectibles and gifts for any dedicated fan. With all that said, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for even more Zombie Army content.